Hey, man. In the studio with us right now, log on to watchv103.com. It's a new series on Netflix. If you grew up reading comic books, you love comic books, you know Luke Cage. And in the studio, we have Cheo Coker, the creator. We have Ali Shaheed Muhammad, who did the musical score. You know him from Tribe Called Quest. And we also have Adrian Younge, who's also part of the musical scoring team. All in the building, fellas. What's going on?
Good morning.
What's going on?
Congratulations on this whole thing, man. You know, I start off by saying to you, Cheo, about damn time, man.
Hey, I feel the same way.
I mean, we've seen, they made it just about a comic superhero movie about everything but Deputy Dog, man. I mean, we've seen just about all of it. What took so long, you think, for this Luke Cage thing to come to fruition?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I think it's a lot of things. I mean, the way that Marvel does things is that they are very deliberate in how they kind of roll things out. So I think for them, first it was about Daredevil and Jessica Jones, introducing Luke Cage within Jessica Jones. Right. And then, building the audience, making sure that it worked. I mean, Daredevil kind of, was one of those shows that people loved. Jessica Jones, I think at first people didn't really know what to expect, and they loved that. And that really kind of set the stage for us with Luke Cage, because I think this show is coming right on time. Yes, it should have been happening earlier, but we're here and we've done it right. And as opposed to coming out and being all filtered and everything else, we've come out with what I think is the most unadulterated, black superhero show in the history of the world. So we're about to kind of put our foot in it.
Let's talk about, the music. I'm watching, the trailer, and, and I know that you guys obviously went to the lab and said you wanted to have the look and the feel, because I hear Isaac Hayes, I'm hearing stuff like that. I'm like, okay, a lot of times when you're watching stuff on television, the music kind of sets the tone. Is that kind of your thinking in all these episodes that you got to, had to go and say, I want this to match the scene?
Well, the tone that we set was basically established by Cheo, first of all. I mean, because Cheo's a hip-hop head, and he's, he has his history of doing a lot of things for the culture. So when he called on myself and Ali to score this thing, we basically listened to what he wanted. And he wanted something that evoked the notion of the hip-hop culture, which is not just hip-hop music, but going back to the breaks. So bringing all that stuff in. So that's who Luke Cage's character is, because he's one of those people that grew up in the culture. So all we did was respond to what he asked for and created that music for it.
See, he makes it sound easy. I mean, these brothers are geniuses.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. I mean, and Ali Shaheed Muhammad just kind of, gave him the thumb like, no, you take this, man. But I mean, your pedigree speaks for itself. But talk about how you got involved with this project and why you did.
Well, Cheo tells the story well. We met when Tribe was working on was that Low End Theory?
No, it was on Midnight
Marauders.
Yeah.
And well, I like the way you tell the story. But anyway, he says that we played Sucker N-Word right after we recorded it. And so that was the beginning of a relationship. But I hadn't seen or talked to Cheo for a long time, and he heard, did you hear that we were working together? Or no, Adrian and I were working on an album, and I get this call that Cheo wanted to talk to me about something, and he was working on it. We met up, and he sent the same message to Adrian, so ironically we were working together, and that's pretty much how everything began. But we completely understood the magnitude of what Cheo was working on, considering that there haven't been any black superheroes, displayed and done so and put in the hands of the best person who really understands the culture, understands the character, and the importance of a character like Luke Cage in this time period. So it just worked out that Adrian and I were working together, and the type of music that we're known for is we tailor make things that last. That's timeless.
Yeah.
And so that was the purpose or the goal for Luke Cage, was to make it timeless, but just put a stamp on it in a way that we haven't heard since maybe Superfly or Trouble Man, some of the great notable black composers. And so we wanted to do that.
8:24 right now. Log on to watchv103.com. Adrian Younge, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Cheo Coker in here. We're talking about Luke Cage, Marvel's third of 4 series, and it's on Netflix. Hey, Cheo, talk about the appeal of Netflix for the binge watcher who goes against traditional television? You know, maybe you don't DVR it, or maybe you don't miss that episode. But you know, Netflix is the kind of thing where you will sit there and now they got it where you can it says next episode begins in 15 seconds. You're like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and watch the next episode.
Well, I mean, the whole television and technology has changed everything. Well, really, technology has changed television. Like when I was growing up, I mean, I learned how to tell time because of TV. Because my grandmother, I knew that 1 o'clock was All My Children, 2 o'clock was One Life to Live, 3 o'clock was General Hospital.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up.
Right.
The thing about it now is that like you can go and watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it, and that's really the appeal of Netflix. And what's happened now is that with these dramatic series, it's changed the way that people consume television. Because it isn't like it is where, every week there's a cliffhanger and then, okay, next Tuesday at 10, you're going to wait for the next show. Mm-hmm. It's that you have to kind of compose the season in terms of how you tell the story, almost like a record. And so that was the thing, was not only, was our influence, the soundtracks of, Trouble Man, Superfly, Shaft, as well as, Ennio Morricone and a lot of just incredible film stuff. We were also thinking about like Songs in the Key of Life or, Ice Cube's Death Certificate, 3 Feet High and Rising. I mean, like the fact that when you have these albums, it's like you shut everything down and you just listen and you kind of hear a story being told at the same time that there's music. And the thing about Marvel's Luke Cage in terms of how we tell the story is that music from the very beginning is an important part of the fabric of the show. I mean, just as it is, with us as a people, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's music throughout, and it's not just hip hop. I mean, because the thing is that, beyond that, the score is just really, evocative. And then at the same time, we have like John Lee Hooker and Mary Jackson. And then at the same time, we got like live performances from Faith Evans.
Sadiq.
We got Sadiq in there. We've got the Delphonics. We've got Charles Bradley. It's one of those things where it's like the more we talk about it, like I don't even like talking about it. I just want people to see it on September 30th because there's just so much to talk about.
Right.
And I almost would rather like hopefully come back and talk about it after the show comes out, because I'm saying it's one of those things where it's just like it's an old experience. I mean, we're going to ruin people's weekends.
In a good way.
In a good way.
8:27 right now. Before we go to break here, Ali, Shaheed, Muhammad, man, the love that we have seen just globally for Tribe and for Phife. I mean, we had our traffic guy here who went viral when he put like a traffic bet. He put like so many, Phife lyrics in it. Does it make you appreciate what you guys did when you see that come from not just New York or Atlanta, but the whole world was like just huge fans of that movement?
Yeah, like even just listening to a war tour is a little bit difficult for me sitting here. And it really wasn't until, I think, throughout the years, it's been 26 years. And yes, there's a global love for A Tribe Called Quest. And you kind of, I'm aware of it, but not wholly. And I wasn't really wholly aware until Phife passed. And he was so loved, and he loved this city. He left New York to be here, and he would always just talk about how important Atlanta was for him, and it gave him so much life. Right. And just seeing the love for him, and like I saw that traffic report, and I was like, oh my God, that's just like, how does that happen? And we've lost many other great artists, but I haven't seen anything like that. Right. And so that, I think, speaks to something that we've done to really touch people. And, it just comes from our parents and trying to instill something good in us. And so we tried to put that good in the world. And so hoping that it will inspire the up-and-coming generations to go beyond that, really.
8:29 right now. And we definitely want to have you guys back. I mean, again, tell them where they can check it out, what they need to do, appointment television, for sure.
Okay, so Marvel's Luke Cage is going to come out exclusively on Netflix on September 30th. It'll hit 3 a.m. on the 30th, like on the East Coast, on the West Coast at midnight. And, I say, hey, stay home from work,
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? You know, shut things down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you're
gonna
not
be
going to get
like
any sleep.
that.
It's an event.
Like, really, like after the first episode, it's like you're going to that's the thing about binge watching. First episode, you know, I'm just going to watch a couple of these things, go to sleep.
Right.
And then you're going to get the second one. Then you get the third. After you get the third,
it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
All right, there you go. 8:30. We're going to keep reminding people, too, man. Thank you guys for getting up early
Thank you, man.
and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it, all right? People Station V103, man. We got to look at news right now. Maria Boynton.
Good morning, Atlanta, 72 degrees.